What up, it's your girl Najee. Everybody hates K, but everything golden. And you're listening to T7M Radio with my man's Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah.
Alright, fellas, it's about to go down. We've been so patient since February, but our time is now, and we are at it. Week 1. NFL action is back at the 2016-17 season of the NFL is here. We are locked and loaded with predictions. Welcome, my fellow sports fans and supporters, to the Best of 7 Sports Talk here on T7M Radio. I am your host, as always, the Kid 7 Mitchell. Appreciate y'all locking in today. Happy Labor Day to all out there. Salute to everybody. Hope that everybody have a dope weekend. We about to have a super crazy show on deck. Callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102. If you on Facebook, make sure y'all join our T7M Radio Facebook debate group. Also on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. T7M Radio. We definitely look forward to chopping it up with y'all in the future with all these dope debates. We want to give a quick shout out to all the new subscribers to the channel, all the new views. We definitely appreciate all the support here at T7M Radio. With me, as always, we got the Devil's Advocate, co-host, and we got the big homie J.O. in the building. What's going on, J.O.?
Yeah, what's good, family, man? Happy season.
You already know what it is, man. It's the 2016-17 NFL season. It's going down this week, starting Thursday night, of course, beginning with the, if you want to call it the rematch of Super Bowl 50, the Carolina Panthers versus the Denver Broncos going down this Thursday, 8:30 p.m. kickoff. So we're going to give predictions on week 1 a little bit later on in the show. Me and J.O. is about to chop it up and break down each division and give our favorites looking like in the divisions in NFL this upcoming season. So let's get right into it, man. Again, this is the Best of 7 Sports Talk with 7 Mitchell. J.O., callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102, man. Let's start off, J.O., with the NFC. Let's get into the NFC East. Gotta be the biggest talked about, or one of the biggest talked about divisions so far in the offseason, of course, with the Dallas Cowboys just recently acquiring your guy, Mark Sanchez, from the Denver Broncos. First of all, when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, they Romo's out for 6 to 10, so now we know that they're working with picking up Mark Sanchez, even though the rookie quarterback is doing an excellent job so far in the preseason. What's your thoughts on Sanchez going to Dallas?
Well, I don't think he's going to start, however, but I think it was a solid pickup to be a backup. I mean, if anything less, he do have experience, and he had playoff experience, so I'm not mad at that at all, despite how I feel about him as a quarterback.
Right. I like Dak Prescott, man. 39 for 50, 454 yards, 5 touchdowns over the preseason. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't go with him, but I know you might want to give him time to groom and develop. But he has definitely looked like he's going to be the future. If not in Dallas, he's going to be the future somewhere in the NFL. Mark Sanchez hasn't had his shots to me. We already know what that story is. We read that book a couple times in New York and in Denver and in Philly. So I'm not really surprised. Dallas definitely always try to grab headlines. Jerry Jones. So no surprise there. Who's your pick in the NFC East? We got the Giants. We got the Redskins, with the defending champs in the NFC East. You got the Philadelphia Eagles and, of course, the Dallas Cowboys. Who are you picking, J.O., to come out of the NFC East as champs this year?
I have to go with the Redskins repeating. I think the Redskins have the best nucleus. I mean, they pretty much bringing the same team they brought back last year and added some better receiving depth. So I'm sticking with the Redskins if they stay healthy.
Yeah, man, I wanted to go with the New York Giants. I like some of the moves that they made on defense in the offseason. I think Odell, this is definitely his year to stand out, Josh Norman being with the Redskins. I'm not mad at you picking the Redskins. They won the division last year. They picked up Josh Norman, so they should be the heavy favorites going into the season. But, I can't wait to see Eli Apple, on the field in the regular season eventually. And I think Eli's always been up and down, and he's been down for the last couple of seasons. So I think this might be Eli's turn to do his thing. So I'm going with the New York Giants coming out of the NFC East. But, Dallas, not Dallas, the Redskins is definitely probably a heavy favorite. So I ain't mad at that. You think the Dallas Cowboys going to make the postseason?
I can't put too much stock in a rookie quarterback playing, 8 to 10 games this year. I can't. He's been looking good, but I don't really like their pass rush. They got some guys that's dealing with suspensions, and the secondary looking kind of iffy. I'm not feeling any defense.
Well, let's reach out to the streets, take some calls, and see, what the streets are talking about. We're talking NFL East, Week 1, giving out division predictions. Let's reach out to the streets. 609-410. You now on the best of 7. What's poppin'?
Hey, gentlemen, how you doing, man? Happy Labor Day. Got Jersey in the house here. Hey, quick question. Fantasy related. I've won 6 championships in the last 8 years. In a PPR league, I'm going to start Allen Robinson. I'm going to start Landry. You can use a running back or receiver for your flex. I do have Shepard, from the Giants on my team. But I also got Funches. Do I drop Funches in a PPR league to pick up that guy Sharp, Tajon Sharp? What's your feeling on that? I like that the Eagles got rid of Bradford. I like that move for a first-round pick.
Now, you like Sterling Shepard? You said you already had Sterling Shepard.
Well, yeah. I got Sterling Shepard, and I have Landry and Allen Robinson, and I have Funches. My running backs, I'm solid. I got D'Angelo Williams for 3 weeks. I got David Johnson. I got Stewart. I have Tavon Coleman, and what I did is I actually dropped 4, and I picked up Spencer Ware. So,
okay.
My backs are tight. I got what's his name? Jordan Reed is my tight end, and I have Cincinnati or whatever's defense. But I have Bortles and I have Cousins as my quarterback. So I'm just trying to tweak up my receivers, either for flex or buy, because Allen Robinson and Jarvis Landry are going to start every week, other than if they're hurt or on a bye. You know what I mean?
Right. Smart move. That's a tough. I like who you actually have already. Especially Bortles is definitely going to be one of my favorites as far as fantasy, because he put up big numbers last year. People slept on the Jacksonville offense. So,
right.
I like your quarterback. I like the wide receiver core. J.O., would you make a switch?
Yeah, somebody picked up Fuller because I dropped him when I picked up Spencer Ware over the weekend. So I guess my big question is: here's my philosophy. Here's my thinking, guys. To put our brains together. Now, they're saying Funches could outdo Benjamin because Benjamin's healthy. Benjamin's out of shape. Who knows? But they're a run-heavy team. Ted Ginn Jr. probably won't get the touchdowns like he had last year. So usually you got Ted Gwynn, you got Olsen, and you have Benjamin back now. So you got that 3-headed monster to throw to. Do I think will be like in the 20, like a touchdown score? Yeah. He did have 10 passes thrown to him. I think he caught 5 in that last game he played for 49 yards. That would have almost been 10 points. Now, Tajon Sharp has, I think, 9 catches for 163 yards in the preseason. I don't think Cameron Roy's healthy. Delanie Walker will be the main focus of the pass, and then possibly Sharp. They want to run first, but that defense in Tennessee could be a problem where Mariota may have to throw. So again, it's basically, I would use him as a flex player down the road or bye week. But it seems like my main guys aren't on the same bye, so I'm not a problem. So I'm just looking to be smart to upgrade prior to the thing starting, because once these guys take off, you're not going to be able to draft them, because I drafted an A in my Yahoo league. So I'm just trying to see, do I stick with Funches and see what he'll give me, or do I try to take a move and go with Tajon, because they may throw more there and he's more of a primary guy. Him and Matthews, I think, and Royd if he's healthy. That's why I didn't know what your take was on that.
Yeah, Sharp is looking very sharp, by the way, in preseason. But Funches, I believe the Panthers actually pass more, because you forget the Titans also have DeMarco Murray and the rookie Henry, and they're gonna get a bulk of the carries, and Mariota is gonna run a lot. you know, Cam had like 35 touchdowns, like over 4,300 yards passing yards. So
yeah,
I mean, they're gonna pass a lot.
And they like 27th in passing last year. The Panthers, they were real. They weren't a good team to normally have their receivers. If you would have thought on how they finished, but like I said, I think maybe had 6 touchdowns, maybe 600 yards and 43 receptions last year with Benjamin out. So with Benjamin back, and again, you know, Cam likes Olsen. You know, is he going to beat? Will he beat those numbers, or will he be less than that? I guess it depends on Benjamin, how healthy he comes back or gets in shape.
I think Funches is a bigger red zone target, and he would. Right. You know, the Panthers you know, people think Cam, they're going to run the ball a lot, they don't throw, but actually, like I said, they was I want to say they was number 1 in 1 or 2 in offense. So I think Sharp may get more opportunities. He may get more catches than Funches. Only Funches is going to go down the field more. But Panthers, they open it up, and Mariota don't throw down the field. You know what I'm saying? He's more like an intermediate passer. So that's a close call. It's a close call.
Let me ask you this, Jersey, and definitely appreciate you calling in. Definitely dope questions. Before we take the next call, I know it's early because we still about to get into week 1, but give me your early bird Super Bowl prediction for Super Bowl 51.
I'll tell you what, man. If you know, it's going to. I don't think Denver will get back there. I think again, you've got to go with New England once Brady comes back with the playoffs, and then I think either Seattle or Green Bay. Only because with Jordy Nelson healthy, if Rodgers put up the numbers like he did last year, and it was down, but it wasn't bad, and you get a healthy Jordy Nelson along with Cook, that's a scary offense, and their defense isn't bad. So I say either Seattle or Green Bay coming out of the NFC. And you hate to say it, but probably New England if they seem to put up points. So I don't trust the offense with the quarterback. Denver, I like their defense, but man, I just don't. Usually the teams don't repeat, so Denver's not going to get back. I mean, they're going to make the playoffs, but will they win the Super Bowl? I don't think so.
You're so disrespectful to my Baltimore Ravens. I mean, I picked in the AFC, coming out the AFC. I'm just biased, of course, with the Ravens, but I actually did pick New England to come out the AFC, even with Brady being out for the first 4. So you don't think that's really going to make a difference overall?
You know, between you and I, guys, as long as if New England makes the playoffs, they're scary. You know what I mean? Yes, they're a better home team. But Baltimore, I mean, Flacco hasn't done anything since he really won the Super Bowl. They got some running back issues I think they cut 4 sets. They come back. Dixon could be the running back in a couple weeks. They lost the tight end. What's his name? Ben Watson. Their defense has always been good. They're my back defense because I have the Panthers and them in one league. So, you know, they got some weapons. You know, the receivers are, you know, you got Kamara, he does good. You got Smith maybe coming back. Tight end, they're a little banged up there. But they need the identity of the running game they used to have, and they don't have that now. I do like the coach. Flacco is a game manager. Really doesn't. He's not flashy. He's blue collar, I guess you want to call it. And they lull you to sleep. But you know, I mean, defense wins championships too. Sometimes offense, but that's a tough division to come out of because Pittsburgh, they're up and down. Cincinnati, you know, they could be tough again. The receivers are young. Other than A.J. Green, they lost a couple of receivers. So their defense is not too bad. So like you say, again, you hate to say it, but I think New England will end up being there because they weren't there last year. And either Seattle or Green Bay coming out of the NFC, that division or that part of the list.
I like the picks. I like the picks. Shout out to Jersey, man. I appreciate you calling up, man, and I hope you stay locked in with us, man, because I can't wait to see what your fantasy draft look like, you know, with the remainder of the season. We definitely appreciate you. Oh, man, big up to Jersey, man. This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk with 7 Mitchell, T7M Radio. Callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102. He had some dope picks, J.O. I mean, I know you have picked Green Bay and Cincinnati coming, you know, early bird prediction a couple weeks ago, Super Bowl, so he is fucking with your Packers. Let's go ahead and take another call. It look like we got New York in the building. 347. You now on the best of 7. What's poppin'?
Yo, what's going on, fellas? Calling over here from Brooklyn.
Salute. Brooklyn in the house. Appreciate you. What's poppin'?
Brooklyn in the house. All right, so I wanted to get to some of these picks.
Yes, sir.
Let's start with the NFC North. In the NFC North, I did have the Minnesota Vikings winning it, but with Bridgewater going down, that opens the way. The Green Bay Packers will win this division. In the NFC East, I got the New York Giants winning this division. You can never trust the Dallas Cowboys. I don't trust Kirk Cousins. He didn't beat a team with a winning record last year, so I'm not going with him. In the NFC South, I got the Carolina Panthers, and in the NFC West, I got the Seattle Seahawks because I do not trust Carson Palmer. When it counts, he will fold. Those are my NFC.
Now, before we get into your AFC picks, you got some super dope picks in the NFC. I'm not convinced that Carolina's going to be able to do this again. You know, I know Josh Norman is ugly.
Interesting.
I mean, I just feel like that nucleus, that chemistry may be in question. I'm not sure if they really can repeat what they did last year coming out of the South. I think Drew Brees and company going to have something to say before it's over.
You know what? Possibly, but here's why I don't believe it. I think from a division standpoint, if any team, watch this, if any team challenges this team for the division, and I'm going to say this, I think it's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And here's why I say that. The New Orleans Saints, to me, are a mess. Their defense is a mess. Carolina gets on the field with them, controls the football. They'll just punch them right in the mouth, and I think they'll fold. The Atlanta Falcons, I think, will take a step back as well. Even though I like the fact they got a nice little rivalry going with the Panthers, they will get up and play them. They were the only team to beat them last year. But I think Carolina can still beat them. The Buccaneers are an interesting team because they got a quarterback with the moxie of a veteran. They have completely bought into Jameis Winston. And this dude will continue to rally that team. And they might give these guys a go, but I'm still going with Carolina.
Carolina. One thing I'm really concerned about Carolina is they pass rush and they secondary. I believe they want to start maybe like 2 rookies at the cornerback position, but with Benjamin coming back, the offense still should be top 5. And but I will say Tampa Bay with Jameis Winston is going to be very scary. I have them down as one of my sleepers this year, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So.
Now in the NFC West, we looking at the Seattle Seahawks. I think was the prediction. You rocking with that as well, J.O.?
Most definitely. And on the previous show, I said I had Russell Wilson as my number 1 quarterback in the league. So definitely rocking out with Seattle with Jimmy Graham coming back healthier and in better shape. So Seattle definitely. Arizona. That's a tough division, but I got Seattle because of the greatness of Russell.
Right. Russell Wilson, man, I mean, he's hot. He's undeniable. I'm not totally convinced, but, I definitely got to give him respect. Brooklyn, I got to ask you, the big story out of Dallas with Mark Sanchez signing to the Dallas Cowboys and Tony Romo being out 6 to 10 weeks. Where do you think the future's looking at for Dallas? This particular year in particular?
I've always told people over the past, I've told people since the offseason when it comes to Dallas that give it one more year with Romo, and when they don't do anything, blow the whole thing up, keep a couple of the key talented pieces, tell Jerry to take a hike and go away and start over. I think that's come a year early. They need to put Romo out to pasture, move on to Dak. Sanchez is just a guy. He's just a body. I mean, he can't really play on the pro level anymore. He's not a threat to anyone. That team's just not very good. I think they showed that last year when 1-2 guys go down, they implode. Because while there's a lot of talented pieces, the team's not built right together. So they have to continue to do that, build inside out with the lines, build with Dak, run the football a lot, and maybe start the rebuilding process.
Do you think Dak is the future in Dallas or at least somewhere else in the NFL? Because, I like what he's doing so far.
Yeah, look, I like Dak. Dak kind of showed that he's got something. Maybe they can build around him. But regardless of who's in there at quarterback, fellas, they got to run it 30 to 35 times. That's what they've had to do for the past 8 years, which they haven't done consistently. That's their formula. They need to run it. And if they do that, then whatever quarterback, Dak or someone else, not on the roster, I think they can, hopefully, they can be, well, not hopefully because I hate the Cowboys, but they can try to have some success.
Word. Well, let's go ahead and spin the block, man, and let's shoot out to the AFC. Who's your picks coming out of the divisions in the AFC?
Oh, this is. I like this on the AFC East. I think the Jets play hard, but I'm gonna pick the Patriots with an asterisk though, because it all depends. Everyone's assuming with Belichick just coaching them up, put that in quotes, that's what he does, that Jimmy G is gonna play efficient football. But if Jimmy G comes out and turns it over a lot, and they start out 1-3, or Lord forbid 0-4, and the Jets start out hot, well, you got a race. But if they come out and go 4-0 or 3-1, then look out, the Patriots going to be scary. So we'll see. So I'm going to pencil them in with an asterisk. We'll shoot out West, AFC West. I like the Bronco defense, of course, coming back. But I like the Oakland Raiders to win this division this year.
Thank you.
Because they've got players. They got a guy on the defensive side named Khalil Mack who will wreck your offense, which he did to Denver last year, I believe. He just wrecked their offense. And I don't see any reason why he couldn't do that again with that defense. I like their quarterback. I think he plays with a lot of moxie. I think right now, outside of Phillip Rivers, he's the best quarterback in that division. So I like what they're doing there. My sleeper pick of the NFL in the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars win this division this year.
Sure.
I like that young defense. They seem to play hard for that coach, even when they're not doing well. Their quarterback, I like that guy. I think their quarterback is the second best quarterback in that division, and they've got the best receiving tandem in that division. So I like what they've done. I think they sneak up and win that division. I don't think that division is very good. And then in the AFC North, I saved the best for last. We all know what it is. It's my Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh no! I heard what you said. I heard it. Let's get the obvious out the way. They've got a top 3 quarterback. It's not even a debate. Top 2 quarterback in the AFC. I don't care who gets suspended. I don't care who gets injured. When you got that guy healthy, he's gonna wreak havoc on whoever you're playing. I think they come back strong this year, and there's not going to be any of this. Let's sneak up and get up to play the Steelers and the Ravens, get the magical sweep. I still don't know how they did it. The Steelers are coming ready to play with a very much improved pass defense and a front seven that can stop the run. They win this division.
You know what, Brooklyn? Let me tell you something right now. I was really about to praise you because you absolutely, without a doubt, first of all, let's get out the way, you definitely know your football. And we definitely appreciate you calling up because you definitely know your stuff. When you get to the AFC North and when you decide to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers, we are going to implement some type of performance-enhancing drug testing on the show in the future for callers and all that because, see, we're going to have to do some drug testing here. Now, you got some dope picks, and I want to kind of break this down now. J.O., I talked to you off air about this, J.O., in the AFC East. The Buffalo Bills, I was impressed with the Bills last year under Rex Ryan, but I do not see a lot of people showing them respect. Now, Brooklyn got the Patriots, for the most part, depending on how the tables turn, coming out of the AFC East. Why, J.O., is the Buffalo Bills not really getting the respect?
I don't think nobody respects their quarterback enough.
I think Tyrod is that guy.
I think he is too. Sammy Watkins, he's got the injuries this off season, and I want to say they got to have a couple of rookies as out for the year. A rookie linebacker, a second round pick, Raglan, he's out for the year. I don't know. I just don't think they have I forget they got McCoy. But anyways, I'm not sure if they have enough on offense to challenge the Patriots in that division. But
so you agree with New England coming out of the AFC East as well?
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to go with New England, unfortunately.
Brooklyn's sleeper pick is one of the best picks that I anticipate going down this whole year. I really think Jacksonville Jaguars, if health allows, they will come out of that AFC South as champs. I mean, their offense is explosive, and their defense is just getting better. And just looking at the competition, I like Andrew Luck. I just don't like the pieces around him. I've never been a Mariota fan, and Osweiler in Houston, I mean, that doesn't ring any bells to me. So this division somehow, somewhere, is crazy to say, but this is really Jacksonville's to lose. Coming out of the AFC West, I told you, J.O., the Oakland Raiders is definitely my favorite. I know you had went with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Ooh, interesting.
The Chiefs are fire. I can't disrespect them, and I was a little disrespectful when you brought them up the first time because I kind of lost sight on what they did last year. Andy Reid got them in position, so you might got a point. I'm definitely not convinced that Denver is going back. Now, I know, Brooklyn, you made a dope point about the defense being solid, but I just don't think, with the quarterback being in question, there's no way in the world I think they're going back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't see, no, I don't see that. I really think the Raiders are ready to take the next step and contend with the division. Look, Trevor Siemian might be an efficient quarterback, and he may play well, but we don't know if he's the guy that can step up when Khalil Mack is starting to beast out and play well. We know Brock Osweiler wasn't. He was a deer in headlights. So I'm not sure I can take him over Derek Carr. The Kansas City Chiefs, they play the right way. They're an overall balanced football team, but can they build and get explosive plays consistently? Can they really threaten defenses? Can they do those type of things? Because when they had to step up in the playoffs and play the type of teams that can do that, they struggled. And Andy Reid just tends to wet the bed when it comes to certain things in big moments. So, that's why I'm going to pick the Raiders. I think they get enough explosive plays. I think they make enough defensive plays to win the division.
Right. Now, in the AFC North, this is where things heat up, of course, because you were very disrespectful to my Ravens. I don't know where all the disrespectful comes from on this show, but it's all good. It's all good. I do appreciate, though, Brooklyn, that you did not pick the Cincinnati Bengals to be the favorite coming out of this North. I've never been convinced of Cincinnati, but we've had time and time again people come on the show picking Cincinnati, including the co-host, as the favorite coming out of the AFC North. I just don't see it. RG3, I think him and Josh Gordon to make a little bit of improvement for the franchise, but I still see 5-11, maybe 6-10. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, they're going lock in again, to this rivalry is unbelievable. Now, Baltimore,
yes.
Over the last 48 hours, they released Justin Forsett. They're looking to possibly re-sign him, but that was a shock that they released the running back. But they did today sign a one-year contract to Devin Hester. Wide receiver return. So I'm not sure what the Ravens are doing. Offensively, we got a lot of injury questions going down. So I'm just being biased and hoping that we can, get healthy. But, outside of that, Pittsburgh is definitely looking strong in their division. But, Baltimore all day. I'm going to go with my Ravens. But this is Baltimore-Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be their division for the ticket. It's going to be an interesting one. This particular season.
Yeah, see, J.O. and many other people, and you know what, don't let me assume, because maybe, J.O., you are watching AFC North football a lot, but a lot of people get enamored with the stat sheet with the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, they got all the talent, and A.J. Green, and the defensive lineman they got. You can't block him. Dunlap. But the people in this division, mainly, and this is the one good thing I'll say about the Ravens, the Ravens and Steelers know the Bengals better than they know themselves. And we know that team, when it comes to playing tough man football, winning in the playoffs, we can impose our will. Even the Ravens, who have had major problems covering A.J. Green over the past couple years, they know that the way the team is built, you can never trust the Bengals because they don't know how to win. What you saw in that playoff game is who they are. That's exactly who they are, so that's why I do not pick them to win this division.
Well, I feel like that's who they was, but I think that loss, the way they lost, is going to help them coming into this season. So I think top to bottom, he just really just got to play.
You convinced to Andy Dalton?
Oh, who, me?
Oh. No.
Yeah. Anybody. I just need somebody to step up and say yeah, because I know I'm not.
No, you can't trust him, and even if you look at the playoff game, I respect the fact they actually showed some heart in that fourth quarter and came back because we were punching them in the face for 3 quarters. That's what we do to that team. And when you look at Andy Dalton, since he's been drafted, he's had one good game against Pittsburgh. He's consistently played bad against the Steelers. It's like there are matchups in between the lines. When you look at them, they don't match up well with Pittsburgh. Now, when you go to the overall division, when you look at Pittsburgh and what they're able to do offensively and defensively, they started to create more turnovers. Now, they lost Bud Dupree for the first 8 games. They put him on IR. That can be a big loss. I like this guy, Anthony Chickillo from Miami, and I like Arthur Moats, good players. I think there's enough pieces there to play a certain style of football when you look at the schedule that they can go in and get wins, particularly if they can get early leads and make teams play from behind, which I think that offense can do. The Ravens are going to play tough, but I don't trust their offense overall, and I always call Flacco J.R. Flacco because he's like J.R. Smith. Wow. He can be 30 to 35, to 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then he can go 9 for 22 with 117 and 3 interceptions. It's just as streaky as he could be. He's like J.R. Smith, so it's J.R. Flacco.
J.R. Flacco, I like it. Well, Brooke, since we appreciate you calling up, man, to the best of 7. We look forward to you calling up in the near future. Real quick before we let you go, give us an early Super Bowl prediction.
My early Super Bowl prediction, 2 teams going, the Steelers and the Seahawks.
Steelers and the Seahawks.
Yeah, I do. I think Pittsburgh, if they're playing well enough to make a deep playoff run, I think this is the year they beat New England because of the way the quarterback is playing. As great as Tom Brady is, Ben Roethlisberger can match him if he's playing that well down the stretch. Defense is playing a lot better. I think we can beat New England and go to the Super Bowl.
I already know. Well, man, again, we appreciate you calling up, man. Happy holidays to you and your family, and we look forward to hearing you next week to see what you got for the week.
Thanks, fellas. All right, you take care.
I already know. Salute. All right, J.O., the time is now. Before we wrap up, man, let me know who you got as your early Super Bowl prediction for Super Bowl 51.
I'm sticking with Green Bay against, who did I say? I think I said Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, you had Cincinnati. You picked them as a surprise team coming out of the AFC, which was so incredibly disrespectful.
I'm sticking by that. I think Marvin Lewis is finally gonna get his first playoff win in 30 years, and I just think they have some destiny with him in my Packers team.
So in 30, I just want to show you how disrespectful you are, and I'm glad I saved the best for last because I'm able to document this. So in 30 years, you're telling me not only is Marvin Lewis going to get his first playoff win, he's going to get his second and his third, and maybe, depending if they're a wild card team, his 4th playoff win all in one season and win the Super Bowl. He's going to go on one of those types of runs.
Nah, Green Bay is going to win the Super Bowl, but he will be in the Super Bowl.
But he'll be in the Super Bowl. Okay. Well, you know your stuff, man. I can see. When it comes to the sports, you know your stuff. I follow your lead, but you're just being incredibly rude and disrespectful to my Ravens. But, man, salute to Jersey. Big up to Brooklyn, man. We appreciate everybody for locking in today, man. Again, happy Labor Day to everybody out there, all the sports fans. Hope y'all enjoy week 1 of the NFL. Starting this upcoming Thursday is the rematch between Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos. Should be a goodie defensive-wise. J.O., happy holidays to you and your family. You got any final thoughts, anything before we roll out?
Hey, go Florida State tonight.
All righty. College football is back, man. Well, this is Seven Mitchell, man. Again, we appreciate y'all locking in. We will be back at it next week at our regular time, 6 p.m. Eastern, here on the Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio. Y'all have a happy holiday. Stay safe this week. And we'll be back for a recap for week 1 here on the Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio next week. We out of here.